What's up, guys? So today I want to talk about why you should not confuse comfort with progress, because when you do that, you can eventually you're gonna look down the line 5, 10 years and you're gonna be at the exact same spot you were. Because when you're comfortable, you're doing the same things every single day. There's no sort of effort, there's no sort of resistance. That's when you fall into a role where you kind of are just accepting whatever. When your business is going downhill, you're just accepting it. You're not worried about it continuously improving or trying to make progress. So it's super important to not allow yourself to be just comfortable with being basic. You want to be able to challenge yourself. You want to kind of get to the point where there's a little bit of resistance, because, like, let's say for example, right, you have your business, you're sending emails out every single day, you're sitting behind the computer, that's how you're networking. But you have to kind of step out of that and start attending in-person events, start attending networking events, because that's when you challenge yourself. You're going to have to speak in front of people, look them in the eye, shake hands, exchange phone numbers, emails, pitch your product, pitch your business into the at the networking events to investors and everyone else. That's when it's actually going to matter. That's when things are going to start working for you, because now you're not sitting behind the computer and getting sent to the spam folder like everybody else, who's trying to pitch their product. Now you're in front of the investor's face. You have to show, you have to show your communication skills. And that's actually hard. That's not easy at all. A lot of people, like, they can't really even do they can't walk in front, they can't walk up to a pulpit or one of those stands or whatever, and actually publicly speak, because it's hard, to look in front of 100, 200, 300 people and to start speaking publicly, and to flow, and to understand the audience and speak to the audience. That's very difficult. But the people who can do it, well, they can actually influence people now to the point where right after they're done speaking publicly, people sign up for their product, they purchase products, they sign them up on their subscription model right after they're done publicly speaking. Because that's hard, that's challenging, and that's something that is not comfortable. It's comfortable to like do what I'm doing right now, speaking in front of the camera. Well, for me it is now at this point, but it's not comfortable for me to go and do some public speaking, and maybe that's what I have to do next. But it's just showing you, when you do things like that, you actually start to improve yourself. A lot of things get better, and it happens to everyone. When you look at your favorite YouTuber, or your favorite actor, or your favorite content creator, whatever it is, most likely these people are not doing the same thing they were doing 5 years ago. They're not doing the same thing they were doing 10 years ago. They're always improving, and that's why they're still kind of in your timeline. They're in your face. They're constantly getting new subscribers, new followers, new viewers, because they're improving. They're not doing the same thing. They're trying to figure out how can they better themselves. And that's also what life is about. It's about continuously trying to improve more than what you were last week, improve more than what you were yesterday. Try and always do that. Sometimes we stall, we get comfortable, and then we look back a year later and we're like, well, did we make any progress? Even in fitness, you always want to kind of see if you can get a better diet, see if you can get a different routine. Maybe you're doing the same routine for years. Try an extra set of a different workout, a workout machine. Try a different workout machine, try different things, because that's what helps you to grow. You can't really grow when you're doing the same thing week after week after week. You have to try different things. So apply that in your business right now. If you haven't, you might be doing the same thing over and over. You might look at your subscriber count, it's not really going up. Maybe you look at your sales, it's not really going up. You look at your subscriptions, or your clients that you have, that you've been working with, they're the same. You haven't really gotten any new ones. Try a different route. Maybe you need to make content. Try making content. Or maybe you need to try different advertisements. Try running different campaigns. Try targeting a different niche. Try opening up different pathways to find your product. It doesn't have to just be a landing page. It could just be you're sending emails and you're adding the link in the email newsletter. just different things like that, and try different things and try to grow, because that's the only way how you will grow. And if you like this video, guys, leave a comment below, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.